Hi guys, coming at you on YouTube and on the podcast today because over the weekend Holly and I hosted a goal setting and group coaching session as part of my work with WeBlog North. It's a collaborative event that we do every January. It's a great kickstart to the year. Everyone shares their goals, work and life goals, so we do chat about business and blogging and all that kind of stuff. But we also chat about some really deep stuff like confidence, mindset struggles, personal hurdles people are facing, and it's a really positive, really inspiring event, and I always come away from it with lots to think about. So one of the things I've been thinking a lot about this year specifically is the recurring themes that come up again and again when it comes to goal setting, when it comes to achieving our goals. Why do we feel held back by so much? Why do we self-sabotage? Why do we not achieve our goals? And I wanted to share this today, and I wanted to share my takeaways from the event because I know that you guys, 99% of you will have gone through this or are going through this, and I just want you to know that you're not alone and so many other people are struggling too. And I think at the end of the workshop, one of the biggest supportive, positive feelings everyone got was, oh my god, I felt like everyone else had their shit together except me. And now I realise that even the people who I look at and think they have their shit together, they are still struggling with fear, they're still struggling with imposter syndrome and all the things that I'm going to go through, but they're doing it anyway, and they're going after their goals and doing the work and showing up and being consistent anyway. You're not alone, and I'm going to go over the key things that are holding everyone back from their goals. Number one, and this comes up time and time again, and that is comparison. As I've just said, people are looking at other people online or their friends in work or their colleagues, people in their life who might be higher up than they are in their career or in their family life, whatever it might be, whatever you want from life. If you see someone else who has that thing, it's so easy to think, wow, like they have it sorted, they are smashing it, they are getting up at 5 a.m. every day, running a marathon and then working on their business, earning millions of pounds. They have a perfect relationship, and that is so often completely not the case. So not only is it not true, but it's also holding you back from being grateful for what you have and focusing on you and your personal, unique strengths and how they are going to carry you forward to achieve your goals. So comparison is a real thief of joy, as they say, because it completely drags our attention away from ourselves and focusing on what we need to do next, and it completely disempowers us. The second thing that loads of us were struggling with and continue to struggle with is overwhelm. We wear so many different hats and we juggle so many roles in day-to-day life that it can be really stressful to be present and to fully be in that role when we're spending time doing that thing, whether we're at work, whether we're at home with family, whether we're spending time with a significant other. We're often pulled away mentally with other things. So I often talk with my coaching clients who are mothers, and they really struggle with being at work and feeling guilty that they're not at home spending time with their family. But then if they're at home with their family, they're either worrying about their to-do list, or for a lot of new mums especially, feeling a lot of guilt around taking time off or not, being this powerhouse of a woman that's juggling a 60-hour week whilst looking after their kid. It's just, there's a lot of guilt and shame involved with this juggle and trying to, one woman said she was trying to be the perfect wife, she was trying to be the perfect businesswoman, she was trying to be the perfect mother and the perfect blogger and the perfect whatever else you do, and she felt like she was failing in every area. I'm not a mum, but I can totally relate, and I think loads of you will be able to as well. There's so much to do and there's so much that can be being done at one time that this overwhelming feeling just creeps up on you. It's almost, for me it's an anxiety. It's a panic mode that creeps up on me when I look at this to-do list that's 50 tasks deep. And that is why I have to make time for productivity and time management and all the things that we chat a lot about on the podcast, on my YouTube channel, on my blog. I really need those things, and I think if you too are juggling different roles, those tools can really help. A lot of us left the workshop feeling much calmer and much more focused on what we needed to do next. Because as I'll get into, I'm going to touch on all of these topics in their own right, but when you have that overwhelming feeling, often the only thing that you need to do is look at what needs to be done next, because that's the only thing that matters, because that's the only thing you're capable of doing in that moment. What needs to be done next? What do I need to do today? Okay, I've done that thing. What's next? So to recap, comparison was a huge one. Overwhelm was huge. And third, procrastination. Lots of people struggle with procrastination, and I think even the most motivated and self-disciplined individuals struggle with this from time to time. Procrastination is a really funny one for me. I think procrastination is tied into a lot of deeper mindset work that some of us aren't ready to tackle, whether it's fear of failure, I think that's a huge one with procrastination, or also a sense of worthiness and self-love. It might sound ridiculous to you when it comes to being able to do, I don't know, start a blog, but I think deep down a lot of that can be tied to our own feelings of worthiness or lack of worthiness when it comes to showing up for ourselves, showing up for our goals and seeing things through to completion because they're important to us. Procrastination is a real funny one, and there are loads of practical tips. I'm sure I've shared tons of them and will continue to, but it's something that we all struggle with, and you are 100% not alone if you struggle with it too. Finally, I think imposter syndrome is another one that creeps up and bites you on the bum when you least expect it, especially if, again, you're like me and you've set these goals, you're raring to go, you have all these big dreams and ideas, and you're self-sabotaging or you're getting in your own way, you're holding yourself back, making that big scary phone call or taking that next step that you need to do but scares the shit out of you. Imposter syndrome often ties in with procrastination, because what is an easier way to avoid doing something really scary than doing the washing or going into your emails and just doing that and doing something safe and easy and ignoring the other thing. A lot of people will be heading into 2019 wanting to do something huge, whether that's start a business, run a marathon, do some other sort of physically challenging activity, a new hobby, travel the world, earn X amount of money, move into their first house, whatever it might be for you. A lot of us are wanting, of course, and rightly so, to level up in 2019. And in order to level up and push ourselves outside of our comfort zone and grow as a human, that takes a certain level up in ourselves and in our being. And I think a lot of people feel like they're either not ready for that next step, or they're not worthy of it, and they're not smart enough, or they're too old, or they're too young, or they're not rich enough yet, or it's not the right time, it's not the perfect circumstance, whatever's going through your head, I think imposter syndrome really ties into that, and a lot of people struggle to take the action and end up procrastinating, self-sabotaging, sitting at home comparing themselves to other people, because deep down they're thinking, can I actually do this? Am I the type of person who would run a marathon? Or am I the type of person who would have a successful business? All these questions that go through our head that make us feel like we're an imposter in that situation, that we're not actually supposed to be doing that, and we're not supposed to be there yet because we're still 10 steps behind and we're not worthy of that yet. And of course that's complete BS, and if that was your best friend wanting to do something amazing and push themselves outside of their comfort zone, you would have complete support and admiration for them and just tell them to keep going. So we really need to do that for ourselves. It's so important. Know that you're not alone, and we're all struggling with this. So with that being said, these are topics that I will be going into more and more as the year goes on. Of course, we've probably already discussed them at length in the podcast interviews anyway, but I do want to share more of my story, my tips, getting a bit more vulnerable, because that's a big focus for me this year, and sharing the things that I've struggled with and the things that I'm struggling with, and hopefully it will just help everyone feel a little less alone and give you, whether you're listening, watching, whatever, permission to be kinder to yourself and to not beat yourself up about these things. Thanks so much for your support. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next episode on the podcast or the next video on YouTube. Would love to hear from you if you have feedback, so leave comments, or you can reach out to me directly at contact@horrocks.com. That's my email. I'm also on Instagram at cat_horrocks, and all of those will be linked. Thank you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.